This is TWiT.
If you actually really think about Jeff Bezos, who is clearly brilliant and is close, I mean, I don't know if he's an evil genius, but he's, if we have an evil genius, he's it. He's the richest man in the world now. And yeah, this is really interesting to watch as he puts Amazon's tentacles into different areas, like Amazon Go, the store that has no clerks, buying Whole Foods, buying the Ring video doorbell, one of our sponsors. And then you mentioned this checking account thing, which, you know, on any one of these on the face of it sounds like, well, that's just reasonable. The checking account, he's doing this with JP Morgan Chase. By the way, they have another partnership with JP Morgan for the Amazon Health Service for its employees ostensibly. But they want to do a checking account-like product that Amazon could offer customers. It's, they say, for young people who don't yet have a checking account. I really wonder, here's what I think's going on. I think Jeff Bezos is saying, okay, clearly checking accounts are over. Who writes checks? So what's going to replace it, and how can we be in the middle of it? Because it's clear that Amazon's goal, and I'm stealing this from Ben Thompson at Stratechery, is to take a cut of all economic transactions that happen in the United States, period.
Yes.
Every single one.
Is that more of a look like the folks at what's that company, Stripe?
Stripe does this, yeah.
Well,
and every credit card company does in a way, right? But maybe the future of financial transactions isn't Stripe, it's not Visa or MasterCard. Maybe it's more like M-Pesa in Africa, where people don't have checking accounts, they don't have bank accounts, but all the financial transactions are handled on smartphones, kind of like a Venmo or Stripe's Cash.me, and that becomes the bank. And by the way, M-Pesa's made a lot of money as the middleman in the vast majority of economic transactions in many countries in Africa. I'm sure Amazon's thinking that, right? I mean, who wants a checking account nowadays?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one front in a multi-front battle for, like Ben said, to separate you from your money. But we can see everyone getting in on games that take percentages of transactions. Apple, of course, is doing this. Yep. Everyone is doing this. Stripe is one vertical, but we see this war happening all around. This is not a war for your money. This is a war for your mind share. And
a small bit of every transaction.
That's exactly right. We don't want your entire mind. We just want like 2.5% on every thought.
It's interesting. Walmart, according to the Wall Street Journal, attempted this about a decade ago. And they got a lot of criticism, the Journal says, from a range of companies and lawmakers. But, you know, that's actually, let me make. So last fall, Amazon asked for pitches from several banks for a hybrid checking account. Is weighing pitches, so it's not necessarily a done deal. They're thinking about doing it with JP Morgan or Capital One, which was our sponsor in South by, one of our sponsors. So it's not clear who's going to get this. Capital One's a credit card company. JP Morgan has a variety of different things. For JP,
well, Amazon's partner is JP Morgan as well for the Amazon credit card.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay,
didn't know that.
And also, I think something that's interesting here is Amazon gets to avoid some charges, right? In theory, at least, if you have a checking account with Amazon / JP Morgan instead of Amazon, every time you want to move money from your regular checking account to Amazon to buy stuff, which you can also do, by the way, you can sort of bank cash in Amazon and then pay with, I think, Amazon Cash. I forget what it's called. It's called like re-up or reload or something like that. Then Amazon doesn't have to pay. The financial transaction fee for Amazon is also lower, I think.
Right. Yeah, because you pay several percent on credit card transactions. So Amazon would love to just eliminate that.
And this gives the company vision into transactions that are occurring not on Amazon.
Oh.
Right. This is one. This is one business that Capital One has been in for a long time. You know, they are a credit card company, but what they really do is see how and where consumer spending occurs.
Wall Street Journal says Capital One is the #1 user of Amazon's web services.
They definitely got reach.
Very interesting. It's
let us not ascribe evil. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ben, you're a little disadvantaged because Ben's got a lot of latency, I think, going on. So that's all right. Just when you start talking, keep talking, and we'll shut up. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was just sorry about that. I was just going to say, I was just going to say that this is, again, not to get technophobic at all, because none of us are, clearly, except when we should be. But I think one of the interesting things about this is if you think about how typically you would interact with a older school financial company, at least in theory, they're pretty motivated to help you save or to help you do the things that you need to do as a financial, as an adult. And I think one thing that you have to think about here, again, this is all theoretical, but if you had a checking account with Amazon, you have to think about the possibility that like Amazon starts to learn like how you act right after you get paid, for instance, right? Like what do you buy right after you get paid?
Hugely valuable.
What kind of bills are you paying? Are you getting toilet paper? Like what, and they talk about catering to the unbanked. So obviously this means young people, but also potentially it means lower income households. And so I think there is a potential scary thing there where you think about Amazon basically really owning all of your financial behavior, or at least understanding it in a way that allows them to then market things to you more effectively.
How scary is that, though? I mean, I don't think that's that scary. Maybe your ads would be better targeted, but maybe there's a synergy of having Amazon be both my retailer and my banker. I mean, maybe there's advantages to that, but maybe banking costs less. I think there could be, maybe the goods cost less fair, because you're eliminating the 2.5% markup that the bank charges for credit card charges. There could be valuable. I mean, what I'm thinking about is it seems to me that we do need to reinvent the financial system, because the whole idea of a bank is kind of based on the notion that you would go there with actual money, right, and they would hold it for you, and then you could go and take it out. It's a safe deposit box, and you can go and take it out. And then eventually checks came along, and so instead of taking money and using it, you could write an IOU, in effect, that the bank would make good on, and that system grew. Then credit cards came along that were basically completely separate from the bank. You transfer bits of money out of the bank into the credit card as you paid the credit card, and then transfer stuff from the credit card. This is a kind of a crazy system that grew like Topsy over a century or two that doesn't really make any sense in the modern age, where you don't have piles of cash to bring to the bank. All you have is bits.
Is it
That's fair.
Safe to count out Walmart in this stuff? Because
I don't think so. I think
Walmart is pretty daggone powerful, and everybody shops there. I don't care how much money you don't make or how much money you do make. You shop at Walmart for whatever reason, and they're always trying to figure out a way to keep you coming back. And then you mentioned this stuff about the Walmart Pay and their little checking ideas and whatnot, and I wouldn't count them out.
We really thought when Apple created Apple Pay that the next step for Apple was to create a bank. That, I think a lot of us thought, oh, that's Apple's long-term goal. I think they didn't, maybe for regulatory reasons, not because they didn't think about this. I'm sure if Walmart hadn't already been thinking about it, as soon as they saw this headline in the Wall Street Journal, they said, oh, yeah, we got to do that, because anything Amazon does, Walmart's got to compete against.
Yeah, Walmart's been in this game for a long time. In fact, their employees, you used to be able to exchange your paycheck for goods and services at Walmart.
Yeah. My soul to the company store.
Yeah, exactly.